Get some breeze in here, huh? How satisfying? Extremely satisfying. This is something I do in every single one of my videos. Hello, welcome back to the van build. Today is going to be a shorter video because it's a pretty simple thing that I'm doing. Today is going to be about how I'm building my bed frame. What I am working on first is just lightly sanding down all of my boards and staining them. So I picked up a dark walnut stain because I know for sure that I want my paneling in my van to be like a dark, more rustic color. So that's what I'm gonna go with. Yesterday I picked up 7 2x4s and 2 2x10s. Once I'm done sanding and staining, I will walk through the process that I do to set up my bed frame. Exciting stuff. Like, it's almost, no, it's not looking like a home yet. Who am I kidding? So a full bed is 53 by 75, which will fit perfectly in my van. So right now I'm cutting my 2x10s to fit, here I'll show you where they're gonna fit, this part of my van. So my 2x10s are gonna be bolted onto that, just below my window. From there I'll create a frame with my 2x4s to sit on top of those 2x10s, but for right now I just wanna get these cut, sanded, stained. So much sawdust. So I just got done sanding and staining all of my wood. I absolutely love it. Moving on to the actual installation part. I marked here where I wanted my 2x10 to be so that I can put my frame on top of it. So my bed will sit about an inch higher than here. So I'm gonna have my 2x10s and then my frame will sit on top. And then I will have about a 4 to 5 inch bed. So my bed is going to be pretty tall because I do want to take advantage of my garage, which this will be my garage. I've seen a lot of people just use like sheet metal screws or wood to metal screws, and since I'll be sleeping on this and Akela will be sleeping on this, I just want to make sure it's super stable. So I am going to include 2 bolts on each 2x10. So that's what I'm gonna put in right now. So I figured out where I want my bolts, and I know I want one about here and about the same distance in on that other side. After measuring, I knew that it needed to be 9 inches in and 5.5 inches down for me to hit the spot that I want on the metal. Holes are done. I didn't do a very good job. That's okay, nobody's gonna see it because it's just the frame. So I'm gonna measure the other one right now and do the holes too. 5.5. It's hot, man. I think I say that every time. I just marked where I wanted it. So, I'm an idiot. I didn't really think about the accessibility of like me reaching my hand around or a tool around to tighten the bolt, the nut. So on this side, here's my hole. I can reach in here with a tool and tighten that. On this side, I don't think that will be the case. I was mostly just concerned about the distribution of weight rather than being able to tighten the bolts, but we'll see how this goes. Let's get some breeze in here, huh? Don't fall. All right, that's in there. Why? I wish my hand was tiny right now. I could just do a very simple thing and move it. I just don't want to. But I'm going to. Okay, I'm going to. Well, I suggest you don't make the same. I might honestly just use that whole 2 inches. Oh! Oh my gosh, that was perfect. That was literally perfect. Oh my god, it's working. Come on. Okay, well, now that this is stuck, I don't know what that means. Alright, we're doing this side now. This is extremely frustrating. So Sweet. Don't move. Nobody move. So originally I had planned to make a little bit different of a frame, but now that I'm getting this kind of set up, it's actually really sturdy. So this is what I'm going with. So I have my 2x10s here, and I'm just going to go with 5 2x4s across so that once I get my bed slats, they'll be running this way. But this will give me just enough space for about a 4-inch foam or small mattress. It's not super fancy and it's really awfully sturdy. So I'm gonna go ahead and screw all these in. Alright, we are moving on to the sound deadening. I wasn't entirely sure that I actually wanted to do sound deadening in my van, and I decided in the end to do it just for that extra auditory comfort, I guess you could say. Okay, few things first. There are a handful of popular options for sound deadening material. Some are a lot more expensive. I think that based on my research, how I understand that is the expense is really coming from the brand name. I decided to go with Noiko. I think that's probably how you say it. Noiko, because the reviews were great. I've seen other van lifers use this and they had no problems with it. It was significantly cheaper than other stuff, especially compared to the, I think it's Dynamat and the Kill Mat or Rattle Trap. So I went with Noiko, and so far I've done about half of my van and it's adhering really well. Also, just another little tidbit, I am going to be insulating with 3M Thinsulate, which is an acoustic barrier. So I wasn't super concerned with going with the highest quality sound deadener, but I think Noiko is pretty high quality. All right, here's the box, and this is what it looks like. It does come with this little booklet, and then these are what the sound deadening sheets actually look like. This one I actually cut, so this is the full sound deadening sheet. They're pretty large, and at first I thought that I would need kind of more industrial scissors, but just a normal pair of scissors have worked fine for me. This paper just peels back, and this is the edge that adheres to your van. As you can see, it's really flexible, so it can form to any wall that you have in your van. Now, there are a bunch of different things that you could purchase to make this happen. So you can purchase a roller to help roll the sound deadening onto your walls. You can buy some heavy duty scissors. You can have a special cleaner for your walls. The only thing that I've been using are a very simple pair of scissors. So my walls are already very clean. I did an entire rust prevention process where I deep cleaned everything and then did a primer and a Rust-Oleum protectant. Excuse me. If you have not already checked out the video of my rust prevention process, go ahead and watch it because that's a really important step, and that's something that you do not want to forget when you're doing a van build. So I knew that my walls were going to be totally okay for the sound deadener to adhere to. The only places that were a little funky were my back 2 doors and my big sliding door, because I actually ripped those panels off before I started this, and there was some debris and some dust or dirt that laid underneath those, and I just used a damp washcloth and I washed them all off, let it dry, and then adhered my sound deadening to that, and it worked really great. I didn't need any special cleaner to do that. So let's get into the actual installation of this stuff. I am going to crawl under my bed frame and show you a little bit of what I've already done and why. Here are my wheel wells. So if you have seen van build videos where people cover the entirety of their van before insulating, you do not need to do that. Through research and following other people that are professionals at doing this, really you only need to cover about 25% of a single panel. So if you are covering the entirety of a panel or your entire ceiling or all of your walls, you're actually losing the efficiency of the product and you're spending a ton of money. This box of Noiko sound deadening material that I bought, I think it was like $70 to $100. It's going to do its job if you just do it right. Oh, welcome. Basically what I have here is a piece that is a little bit left over, and I'm just going to plan on using one kind of big square. So this is how easy it is to cut. These are just normal Scotch scissors. Look at that. That easy. Okay, so this, I'm just going to take off this paper. How satisfying? Extremely satisfying. It is very, very sticky. This is the part that you could have a roller for. I do think it's smart to start from either the middle or one of the edges so that you can make sure there are no air pockets. Okay, no time-lapse video because my camera battery died, but I will show you the final product. Enjoy. With everything that I installed that I just showed you, this is all I had left. I have this little guy, and this larger sheet, and that's it. And that is a wrap on the sound deadening and the bed frame. If you learned something or if this video is helpful in any way, make sure you go ahead and give it a like. The next video will be my installation, which is the most controversial topic in the van life community, I think. So stay tuned for that, and let's get into the breakdown of how much this has cost. If you are not a watcher of my videos already, or if you're not subscribed, this is something I do in every single one of my videos. I share the total cost of my van build up to the point of this video. So these two projects alone, just the sound deadening and the bed frame, cost me $163.19, which brings my total for my van build so far to $1,700.18. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for all of the rest of this build and our shenanigans and our travels. Feel free to leave questions if you guys are curious about why I'm doing something, or leave your own advice. If you're an avid van builder or if you've done similar projects before, feel free to leave comments how you would have done things differently, because really this is just for everybody to learn. Alright, we're going swimming. We'll catch you next time.